Welcome to Tejas Education. We have to work hard to achieve success. This video is based on Manufacturing Industry, Lesson 6 Geography, Class 10 CBSE Board. We will be discussing topics such as contribution of industry to national economy. The video is very important in board exam point of view. Please watch it till the end. Contribution of industry to national economy. Over the last 2 decades, the share of manufacturing sector has stagnated at 17% of GDP out of a total of 27% of the industry, which includes 10% for mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. That means the manufacturing sector has stagnated, means stopped growing, developing, and GDP, gross domestic product, which is very important to evaluate the economic strength of a country. So why did it stop? It can be because of various physical factors such as power, communication, transport. And what is the second point telling us? The desired growth rate over the next decade is 12%, but we expect the growth to happen in the next decade, and that is at 12%. So these 2 points can be added to importance of manufacturing industries. It will really help you to score mark, because when we talk about GDP and the percentage, it shows that you know the content very well. So here, out of the industrial contribution 27%, 17 is by manufacturing, the rest 10 is by other industries such as mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. If we can at least mention over the last 2 decades, the share of manufacturing sector has stagnated at 17% of GDP, then you can write the desired growth rate of the next decade is 12%, or you can write the full. It's up to you. Add these points to the importance of manufacturing industry. Since 2003, manufacturing industry is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% per annum. Explain. So here the government might have intervened. It has brought new policies, subsidies, loans, and also the industrialists are also improving, trying to improve their productivity. So with appropriate policy intervention by the government and renewed effort by the industry to improve productivity, economists predict that manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade. National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council has been set up with this objective. The objective of this council is to see the manufacturing industry's growth. They are keeping a track of it. So it's important in MCQ point of view. Name any 3 physical factors for the location of the industry. 3 marks, 30 words. Again, 3 human factors for the location of industries. Again, 3 marks, 30 words. So this is from page 79 of NCERT book. And also any 5 factors affecting the location of industry. So we are going to learn about the next topic, very important topic, location of industries. What are the physical factors? Availability of raw materials, very important, obvious, water, power, human factors, capital, investment, right? Money, labor, market and transport. How to write in 30 words? Physical factors. Availability of raw material. Industry depends heavily on raw material. Water is used in industry for various purposes such as processing, etc. Power is required to run the machine. So we have to write at least one sentence explaining. Human factors. Capital. Industrial invest money to start an industry and use service of bank. How can bank help? They can lend money. The industrialist can borrow money to establish new machine, hire new skilled laborers. They get loan from banks with which they can latest machine for their factories. Laborers are hired at cheap cost. Market, industries established near market so they can sell the good at a low cost. Transport, affordable and efficient transport system. Explain any 5 factors affecting the location of an industry. Very important question in board exam point of view. So we know that for 5 marks there should be an introduction, 5 points, conclusion. Let's do it. Industries are located where all the factors of industrial location are either available or can be arranged at lower cost. Point 1. Availability of raw material. Industry depends heavily on raw material, so they are located near it. The key to decision of factory location is the least cost. Very important point. The government policies and specialized labor also influence the location of industry. So subsidies given by the government, loan, specialized labor, skilled laborers. Power is required to run the machines. Labor is hired at lower cost. Market, it is located close to the market and it's easy to distribute the goods. Capital, industry invests huge amount of money to start an industry. At times they borrow money from banks so that can upgrade their machine, hire skilled laborers. Transport industry needs efficient and affordable transport system. Water is used in industry for various purposes such as processing, dye, etc. Coloring. So we can say that industrial locations are complex in nature. Given 9 points, write 5 points, write the introduction and conclusion, you can write it in your own words. Industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. Explain. So once the area gets industrialized, the urbanization follows. Means once the industry is established, people will come from village to work there. So more people will come means that area will become densely populated. After industry activity starts, urbanization follows. Sometimes industries are located in or near the cities. Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants and financial advice, etc. to the industry. It is from the textbook, children. So once you read the lesson thoroughly, then you can easily answer these questions. Along with this video, I'm sure you're going to get full marks. Define agglomeration economies. External economies is collection. Many industries, they are built in proximity of each other, which produce same type of goods. They can share skilled labor, transport, etc. Many industries tend to come together to make use of the advantages offered by the urban centers known as agglomeration economies. Agglomeration means collection. And what are urban centers? Well, the areas which are densely populated. Classification of industries on base of source of raw material used can be divided into agro-based and mineral-based based on raw material. Agro-based industry. What are agro-based industry? Cotton, jute, silk. These industries are based on agricultural raw materials. Industries based on agricultural raw materials, example cotton, jute, silk, woolens, textiles, sugar and edible oil. Textile industry. This question is very important. They can ask you question based on this, like how textile industry occupies a unique position in Indian economy, which you should know. This question is very important. The textile industry occupies a unique position in India because it contributes significantly to industrial production and employment generation. So a lot of people can be employed. It gives a lot of opportunity, right? Many people can benefit from this. Second largest after agriculture. So first is agriculture, then is our textile industry. Foreign exchange earnings about 24.6%. It contributes 4% towards GDP. Very important point. Please write the GDP point for exam. It is the only industry in the country which is self-reliant and complete in the value chain from raw material to highest value added product. So complete thing, like from the raw material to the product. It's a very value added industry it is. So children, please learn this nicely. MCQ question. In ancient India, cotton textiles were produced with dash and dash techniques. What are the two techniques? Hand spinning and handloom weaving. Okay, these are MCQ questions. Please keep in mind. Why did traditional industries suffer a setback? Why did traditional industries suffer a setback during the colonial period? We have learned in the history also. It is because when India was a colony under British rule, the mill-made clothes from England were a tough competition. So traditional industries could not survive because they could not compete with mill-made clothes from England. As on 30th November 2011, there were dash cotton and human-made fiber textile mill in the country. How many? That's the question. 1946 cotton and human-made fiber textile mill in the country. About dash of these are in the private sector and the rest in the public and cooperative sectors. About 80% textile industry are in private sector, the rest in public, the 20%. Apart from these, there are several thousand small factories with 4 to 10 looms. Just for the knowledge, these things please keep in mind. In the early years, cotton textile industry was concentrated in the cotton growing belt of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Again, children, this is very important. Please watch the video till the end. It will surely help you in your board exam. Maharashtra and Gujarat are also known as cotton growing belt. So we are giving an intro. Availability of raw material. Cotton is produced in this region because of the climate. Moist climate helps for the growth of cotton. The moist climate, yeah. Port facility. So Bombay, Gujarat, there's the facility to import export. It helps in import of machine and export of cotton products. Labor, as Maharashtra and Gujarat urban area, labor is easily available. Urban area, densely populated. Transport, efficient and affordable transport system is also there. So cotton textile industry flourished in Maharashtra and Gujarat in the early years. 5 points, introduction and conclusion is also given. Why weaving is highly decentralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu? What is the meaning of the word decentralized? It is not controlled by one office. It is, the power is distributed. Transfer control of an activity or organization to several local offices or authorities rather than one single one. So there are many local offices. Weaving is highly decentralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu to provide scope for incorporating traditional skills and designs of weaving in cotton, silk, art, embroidery, etc. So to incorporate our traditional skills, it is being done. India has world-class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabric. Explain. This is very important question, children. Weaving can't use much of the high-quality yarn produced in the country. Weaving is done by handloom and powerloom in mills. The handspun khadi provides large-scale employment to weavers in their home it is an example for cottage industry. So before that, India has world-class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabric, which cannot be used by garment makers. That's why they have to import fabric. Why? Because weaving doesn't have technology. It doesn't have the good quality machines. They need more help from the government. Weaving can't use much of the high quality yarn produced in the country because it is done by handloom, powerloom, the mill. It is with the private sector. So agriculture employs maximum people. Second is our weaving industry. So here we need to invest a lot. The government has to help. Why did Mahatma Gandhi lay emphasis on spinning yarn and weaving khadi? Mahatma Gandhi wanted to provide more job opportunity in the sector because they couldn't compete with mill-made cloth from England. And moreover, Gandhiji wanted people to wear clothes made in India. Traditional industries suffered a setback during the colonial period because they could not compete with the mill-made cloth from England. Mahatma Gandhi wanted to revive this industry and provide job opportunity to weavers. Secondly, he wanted people to wear clothes made in India. So he lay emphasis on spinning yarn and weaving khadi. Because this industry was suffering a lot. People were not employed. either agriculture or in this industry, the rural area people are employed. Why is it important for a country to keep the mill sector loomage lower than the power loom and handloom? Because weavers work in mill sector. After agriculture, the main employment opportunity for the rural sector people is weaving or the mill sector. So this sector needs the loomage to be kept at lower than the power loom and hand loom. Weavers are employed in large scale in mill sector. They work from their home as cottage industry. As in a cottage industry, their source of employment for people in rural sector apart from agriculture. They will help. This will help prevent migration to cities in search of job by weavers. They don't need to depend on agriculture heavily, right? So that will help them to survive in a better way. India exports yarns to Japan. Importers of goods from India are, this is MCQ question. These you should know. USA, UK, Russia, France, Eastern European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and African countries. Why many of our spinners export cotton yarn while apparel and garment manufacturers have to import fabric? Our spinning mills are competitive, but weaving and knitting units are not much like them. They're not like them. Why? Because they cannot use the high quality yarn produced in the country. So there are some large modern factory, but most of them are fragmented small units. So there is a big mismatch between these two. So that results in the cotton to be exported and the garment manufacturer to import fabric. Our spinning mills are competitive at the global level and capable of using all fibers we produce. The weaving, knitting, processing unit cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. There are some large and modern factories in this segment. Most of the production is in fragmented small units which cater to local market. This mismatch is a major drawback for the industry. As a result, many of our spinners export cotton yarn while apparel and garment manufacturers have to import fabric. It's very important. Why is it important for us to improve our weaving sector instead of exporting yarn in large quantities? This is also a very important question. Why? Why we have to improve our weaving sector? We know that weaving sector employs a lot of people from the rural area. After agriculture, this is the area where people are employed. So if we improve the standard, many people will get job opportunities. Yeah, and the yarn produced in India can be used and with which we can produce garments and that garments can be exported. Weaving is an important industry that provides job opportunities to weavers in rural areas apart from agriculture. If weaving sector gets help from government and bank, it can be modernized and developed into a large-scale industry. They can then utilize yarn produced in the country. Manufacturers can avoid importing fabric as they can easily buy it from the weavers. Garments can be produced in the country and thus many people can be employed and it can be exported also. Weaving industry plays an important role in rural area. Its improvement would be beneficial for a country as a whole. This is my answer. You can write in your own words as I always say. We have made significant increase in the production of good quality long staple cotton. The need to import is still felt. Why? Explain. Power supply is erratic. Machinery need to be upgraded in the weaving and processing sector in particular. Low output of labor. Stiff competition with synthetic fiber and industry. This is also a very important question. So children, I hope you have watched the entire video. Please do like, subscribe and share Tejus Education. Thanks for watching Tejus Education. Please like, subscribe and share.